If you're looking for a fun and effective way to grow your email list and boost conversions on your site, you're gonna love this, because in this video, I'm gonna walk you through how to create an interactive gamified pop-up using Claspo's Spin the Wheel widget. I'll show you how to design it, connect it to your lead capture system, and then connect it to your WordPress site step by step. And whether you're a blogger, e-commerce brand, or a service provider, this is a great way to turn visitors into subscribers and customers. And real quick before we get started, if you get any value out of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Helps me bring you more resources, and it keeps you up to date with all of the AI, web, and tech trends happening throughout the year. But either way, thank you so much for all your support. All right, with that being said, let's get started. First things first, head over to claspo.io. I've linked to this page in the video description below, and from here, click the sign up button in the upper right corner. Claspo offers a free plan, so you can follow along and test it out before deciding whether or not it'll be a good fit for you and your site. But if after watching this video you do decide to upgrade to a paid plan, be sure to use my promo code in the video description below, and that'll get you 20% off your monthly or annual subscription. Okay, next you'll see a sign up screen with several options. For this tutorial, I'm signing up using my Google account, but you could also choose Facebook, X, Shopify, or just use your email address. But either way, once you've selected your method, go ahead and log in. And after signing in, you'll be prompted to agree to Claspo's terms of service and privacy policy. Go ahead and check that first box to continue. The second checkbox is optional, but it lets you opt in to receive special offers and news from Claspo. So go ahead and check those boxes and click the next button to continue. And here you'll enter your website's domain name. So go ahead and fill that in and then click the Finish Registration button. You'll then land on a welcome screen, and from here go ahead and click the Start Creating First Widget button. This is where we'll dive into building a lead generation gamified pop-up. And there will be some onboarding questions. First, Claspo will ask, what is the widget's goal? You'll see several options like growing an email list, increasing sales, collecting feedback, etc. And in our case, we're going to be creating a gamified pop-up to generate leads. So you could click Generate Leads, but for more options, let's click Explore All Templates. And then this will take you to the full template library. So next, let's choose a template and create our widget. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to select a pre-made template to create our widget, but real quick, let me give you a quick tour of the template library. On the left sidebar, you'll notice filters for use cases, features, layouts, and more. And if you recall, for this example, I'll be using a gamified lead gen pop-up. So to narrow this down to gamified options, find the features section and check the box for gamification. Then once that's selected, Claspo will show you all the available gamified pop-up templates on the right. Things like spin to win wheels and interactive forms. There are a lot to choose from, but these are great ways to increase engagement while also generating leads. All right, once you find one you like, go ahead and click on it to preview it. And for this example, I'm going to go with the Win Cyber Discounts template, which includes a spinning wheel that gives users a chance to earn a discount in exchange for their email. It's eye-catching, interactive, and a great way to boost conversions. So let's select this one and check it out. All right, next, Claspo takes you to the template details screen. This is where you could preview the user experience. At the top, you'll see a tabbed interface that includes sign up, success, existing, and error. Each one shows what the user will see at different points in the interaction. So let's go through them really quick. First is the sign up view. This is what users see when the pop-up first appears, and in this case, it includes that spinning wheel and a call to action inviting users to enter their email and unlock a deal. It's visibly bold and designed to drive engagement. Perfect, that's what we want. Next, if you click on the Success tab, and this is what users will see after they enter their email and spin the wheel successfully. It says, you scored, and shows them their discount code. Pretty cool. But I should point out that everything you see here is 100% customizable, which you'll see in just a few moments. Okay, next is the Existing tab, and this message appears if a user tries to play again using the same email. It lets them know they've already spun the wheel and displays the same discount they originally received. Next is the Error tab. This shows what will appear if something goes wrong during the process, like a failed submission. This lets the user know they can try again. All right, before you continue, you can toggle between desktop and mobile previews using the icons near the top right there. This is a helpful way to make sure your pop-up looks great on all screen sizes. As you can see here, the mobile version is fully optimized and keeps the spin to win functionality intact. Finally, towards the right upper side, you'll also see the launcher options. Right now it's set to do not use, but you could switch this to enable the floating launcher, which when you do, you'll see the launcher appear in the lower left corner of the screen. It's labeled Cyberspin, and this is a clickable button that users can engage with to launch the pop-up manually. But I want the pop-up to display by default, so I'll set it back to do not use for the launcher option. Okay, once you're happy with the layout and preview, click the Use This Template button in the top right to move into the editing and customization phase. All right, now that you've chosen your template, it's time to customize the design using Claspo's web-based widget editor. This drag and drop interface is clean, visual, and super easy to use, even if you're not a designer. And let me give you a tour really quick. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to create and design our gamified widget for our WordPress site. But before we do, let me give you a quick tour of this drag and drop web-based editor. In the middle of the screen is the preview. This is where you could edit the pop-up display and experience in real time. You could scroll down and access every step of the pop-up, but there are also different tabs at the bottom of the screen for each interaction state, just like we previewed earlier. There's sign up, success, existing, and error. And clicking them will take you to each interaction state so you can quickly make edits here in the preview. On the right are your configuration settings. So whatever you have selected in the preview will display its settings here on the right. This is yet another way to make some drastic changes to your pop-up like font style, colors, backgrounds, etc. On the left side of the screen, you've got a toolbox full of components that you could add to your pop-ups like text, image, buttons, form fields, etc. Just drag and drop them on the pop-ups to extend their functionality. All right, so that is the web-based editor. Next, let's start customizing this pop-up. To start customizing your pop-ups, you can click directly onto any element in the preview to start editing. As you can see, when I hover my mouse over this pop-up, you'll see some borders appear around each element. You'll also see some grid lines appear around them as well, helping you stay evenly aligned when you start editing and moving things around. And to edit them, simply click on any of the elements within the pop-up, and this will open the settings where you could start making your style changes. Okay, for this first example, I'm going to start by updating the main headline text on that sign up pop-up. So all you'll do is click that headline element and start typing. I'm changing Win Cyber Discounts to Win Instant Discounts. You'll see the update reflected immediately in the design. Next, on the right-hand side in the configuration settings, you can adjust the styling. Under the text style, you'll find options for the font family, weight, size, and color. The font here is set to Rubik Bold, size 40, and I'm just keeping all that as is, but I will update the color. So to do that, click the text color picker, and this opens the color picker tool, and you can manually change the shade or add a hex color code. But either way, once you do, you'll see the color of the text change. And I should point out that whenever you change a specific element, it changes throughout the whole interaction. So you're not having to update individual elements one by one, saving you a ton of time. Okay, next let's change the color of the button. So once again, click on the element to edit it, and this opens the configuration settings on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, one thing I want to point out here are the little triangles around the button. This gives you the ability to adjust the spacing and padding around the button. I'm leaving them as is, but that's what those arrows do if you're wondering. Next, by default, when you select the button to edit it, you'll be taken to the general settings where you can configure what happens when the user clicks on the button. It's set to submit form, but if you click that drop down, you can change what happens like send the user to a different URL, etc. Next, if you click the Styles tab, you'll be able to configure the design. Again, for the sake of time, I'm not going to be making too many changes here, but I will change the color. So if you click that color swatch again, it'll open a color picker tool where you can manually change the color or enter a hex color code. And when you do, you'll see the button color change to the desired color. Same thing goes for all the other elements that are using that teal color. Since I changed the button color, I want to update the rest of the colors to match that new shade of green. So all you'll do is click on each element, and within the style settings on the right-hand side of the screen, click the color swatch and swap out the color. And I'm going somewhat fast through this, but hopefully you're starting to see how easy it is to customize these widgets here in the web-based editor. Okay, once all the colors have been updated, you'll notice that it doesn't just update the color in one pop-up. They've all been updated to use the new color of green, keeping the look and feel consistent and saving you time. Next, let's customize the form itself by adding an extra field. And in this case, I'm going to add a first name input field right below the email address field. This is a great way to personalize your follow-up emails or discounts later on. And to do that, on the left side of the screen, under the component panel, find the fields section and click on first name and drag it into your widget layout. Just drop it beneath the email field. And as soon as you place it there, the preview updates in real time. Now the pop-up has two fields, one for the user's email and one for their first name. Then if you make a change and decide you don't like it, no problem. Claspo includes a handy undo button in the top toolbar. Just click that arrow to go back one step, or use the keyboard shortcut Command-Z or Control-Z if you're using Windows. Next, let's configure the gamified element of our pop-up, the spin wheel. And we'll manage the rewards that users can win. So first, click directly on the spin wheel in the editor to bring up the settings panel. And by default, it starts you on the general tab and shows you the current rewards and prize distribution. In this example, users have a 60% chance to win 5% off, a 30% chance to win 10% off, and a 10% chance to win 15% off. But if you want to customize this, click the Edit Rewards button. And this opens up a detailed configuration screen. Here you could change the chance to win ratio, the discount percentage, and assign a unique promo code to each reward. For instance, the promo codes for each reward here are POSSUM05, 10, and 15 to match the discount amount. Now I'm leaving them as is for this example, but this is where you can edit the promo codes if needed. Then if you want to add more slices to the wheel, just click the plus add reward button and you can enter new prize values, set the odds, and attach promo codes just like the others. Then once you've finished adjusting your reward options, click the done button. And keep in mind, these changes are saved immediately. You don't need to click the widget's main save button to lock in these updates. And just like that, you've got a fully customized reward wheel tailored to your offer and audience. Now, I would obviously make more edits and customize these widgets a little more to match my brand or my website or even a specific campaign, but for the sake of time, we're going to move on. Okay, before you publish your widget, it's a good idea to double check how it looks on mobile devices. Claspo makes it easy to do that right from the editor. Towards the top, you'll see icons for desktop and mobile views, and if you click the mobile icon, this switches to the mobile layout. And this allows you to fine-tune how your pop-up looks on smaller screens and devices. And you'll be presented with a vertical preview of your widget. All the components like the spin wheel, text, and buttons automatically stack to fit a mobile layout, but you can still move things around, adjust sizes, or hide elements if needed. Claspo also gives you the ability to set fixed dimensions or view by breakout size, so you could preview the exact look on various screen widths. Okay, once you're happy with how the widget looks on both desktop and mobile, click the eye icon near the top right to open the widget preview. And this takes you to the live simulation of the widget where, again, you could toggle between desktop and mobile views, but here you'll get a live view as to what the user will see on the front end of your site whenever we publish this. Again, this will be exactly how it will behave on a real site. It's a great final check to catch any spacing issues, misaligned text, or styling tweaks you may want to make before going live. Okay, if everything looks good, back at the editor, click the Save button in the upper right corner to lock in the changes. And once your pop-up design is saved, the next step is setting up the widget triggering. This controls exactly when and where your widget appears and who sees it. By default, Claspo uses rule-based triggering, which is great for most lead gen or promo widgets. And you can customize it by clicking the Edit button. And from here, you can configure things like the display frequency. This lets you choose to show the pop-up only once per session, per day, or without any limit at all. There's also when to display, and this is where you could set conditions like how long someone has spent on the page, how far they've scrolled, or whether they've triggered exit intent. There's also when to stop displaying. You can automatically hide the widget after a certain number of seconds or once the visitor subscribes. There's also to whom settings, and this is key. You can target all visitors, just new visitors, or only returning ones. In this example, I'm choosing to show the pop-up only to new visitors, which is great if you're running a first-time offer or trying to grow your list without annoying repeat users. Then below that, there are even more configurations to explore, but these rules give you a ton of flexibility to craft a highly personalized experience. Then, in addition to rule-based triggering, Claspo also gives you two advanced options. First, there's HTML element click-based triggering, which lets you show the pop-up only when a visitor clicks a specific element on your site, like a button or a link. And second, there's API-based triggering, which is more technical but gives developers full control to trigger widgets through custom logic. Now, we won't be using those two custom advanced trigger options, but it's good to know that they're there if you need more control over how and when your pop-up appears. All right, once your settings look good, click the Next button to move forward. And in a few moments, you'll see a screen letting you know that your widget is ready for publication. But don't publish it just yet. There are still a few things we need to do before making this officially live. So select Keep Unpublished for now. And once you do that, you'll be taken to your Claspo dashboard. This is where you'll manage all of your widgets moving forward. You'll notice two prompts appear, one to install script and another to add integration. You can skip both of those for now because I'm going to walk you through those steps in just a bit. Okay, so this is your Claspo dashboard. I'm not going to give you a huge tour here, but this gives you quick access to your widget's appearance, triggering settings, submission data, analytics, and more. Every time you log into Claspo, this is where you'll go to edit existing widgets or create new ones. Okay, on that note, let's move on and go over how to add integrations so you can start collecting leads through your pop-up widgets. In this portion of the tutorial, we're going to walk through how to add an integration so the leads collected through your widget can be sent wherever you need them. So from your Claspo dashboard, start by clicking on Integrations from the left-hand sidebar, and this will open the data transfer options for your widget. And once you're inside the Integrations tab, you'll be asked where you want to send data collected from your widget. By default, Claspo stores all leads internally using its built-in lead management system. This is great if you want to keep things simple and manage everything from one place, but you also have the option to add a third-party integration. Then below that, you'll see an other option to add a Zapier webhook, which lets you connect your widget with hundreds of other tools using automated workflows. And then if you use Google Analytics, you can toggle on an option to export widget events as custom actions inside your analytics dashboard. Then real quick, if you click Add Integration, you could choose from several third-party options. There are a handful to choose from, but if the platform you use isn't listed here, you could submit a request for Claspo to add it. That's pretty cool. Okay, for this tutorial, I'm keeping things simple and selecting Store in Claspo. This allows me to manage my leads within the Claspo platform. But again, if you want to add a third-party integration, just select it from that list I just showed you, authorize the connection, and approve the integration. Now, depending on the third-party app you're using, the steps may vary, so we won't be going through adding a third-party integration in this video, but Claspo has a ton of really helpful step-by-step integration guides that walk you through the process, and I'll link to them in the video description below. Okay, as I said for this tutorial, I'm just keeping the leads here in Claspo, so I'll leave that selected. And now that the integration is set, let's move on and install the Claspo script to a WordPress website. So the Claspo script is the piece of code that allows Claspo to display your pop-up widget on your website. Think of it as the bridge between the Claspo platform and your WordPress site. Once the script is installed, Claspo can control when and how your widget appears, track user interactions, and send lead data exactly where it needs to go. The best part, you only need to install this script once. After that, any widget you create in Claspo will be managed automatically on your site without any additional code. So to begin the setup, click the Install Script button in the top right corner of your Claspo dashboard or the script menu item in the sidebar on the left-hand side of the screen. Both will take you to the script installation page, and you have a few options as to how to do this. But since we're using WordPress, it's super easy. We're going to install the script using the dedicated WordPress plugin. So find the WordPress section here and click the Install button. And next you'll be presented with 3 steps. Now, you don't need to pay attention to the first step because clicking that button just takes you to the plugin download page, which will download the plugin and install and activate it from our WordPress dashboard. So move on to step number 2, which is to copy your unique script ID. This is what you'll use in the plugin to authenticate the connection. So go ahead and click the Copy ID button. And once copied, head over to your WordPress admin dashboard. And the next step is to install and activate the Claspo plugin. It's free and super easy to set up. So from the sidebar in your dashboard, hover your mouse over Plugins and click Add New. Then search for Claspo, and it should be the first one that pops up. And then go ahead and click the Install button, and then activate it. And in a few moments, you should be presented with this little welcome screen where you'll simply paste the script ID in that field and then click the Connect button. Then in a few seconds, you'll get this notice telling you to return to your Claspo dashboard to complete the process. It also recommends to clear your cache, just FYI. Okay, back at Claspo, under step number 3, click the Check button. And then next, it'll ask you to open your WordPress site in a new tab so the script can load, and then return back to this page and click the check button again. So let's do that really quick. I'm going to open a new tab and go to my WordPress site. Then back at my Claspo dashboard, I'll click the check again button. And this time when it's complete, you'll see this green status letting us know that the script has been successfully installed and our pop-up widget will now display on my WordPress site. But before it can display, if you recall, we still need to publish the widget. So let's head back to the widgets management page by clicking widgets in the sidebar and then find the widget that you just created. I only have one, so it's super easy to find. And from the status dropdown, just select publish, and voila, our pop-up widget is now live. So let's test it out in the real world. So I'm going to head over to my WordPress site, and my trigger settings were to display the widget after the user is on my blog for 20 seconds, but for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward a little. And there it is, beautiful. Then let's enter an email address and click the submit button. And the Gamified widget gets to work and the wheel spins, landing on a percentage for me to save on my purchase. And then it automatically displays the next pop-up that includes the actual promo code to use on my site when checking out. Awesome. So the script and widget work, and I now have an engaging way to generate leads for my business while also collecting valuable contact information and offering incentives that boost conversions, all without writing a single line of code. Then real quick, if we head back to my Claspo dashboard and click on leads in the sidebar, you'll see that since I selected to integrate the default Claspo lead management system, that lead that I just submitted is now stored here in my dashboard. And if you click that download CSV button, you'll be able to download all of the lead data directly to your computer. And that's it. With Claspo's Gamified widget, you now have a dynamic way to engage your visitors and grow your email list. And remember, you could get started for free at claspo.io and create your very own gamified pop-up widget for your WordPress website or blog. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. Also, if you're looking to start a blog, check out these 2 videos on how to build, grow, and monetize a WordPress blog. They'll walk you through the entire process step by step. And as always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.